This show is part of OnePlace, a daily network of focused briefings across the stories people follow most.
Welcome to today's entertainment roundup. We have a packed show covering everything from reality TV meltdowns to major Hollywood casting shifts and legal battles. Let's get right into the headlines for you.
Adam Thomas wins a chaotic I'm a Celebrity final.
Kelly Osbourne shows off a dramatic style transformation.
Russell Brand struggles with a Bible question on air.
An alleged victim speaks out against the Jackson biopic.
Helena Bonham Carter exits The White Lotus Season 4.
Uncovered footage shows Michael Jackson with a female fan.
An actress denounces musician D4VD after his arrest.
Teddy Mellencamp fights for weight loss drugs during treatment.
Starting with the jungle. The I'm a Celebrity South Africa Live final was anything but a smooth celebration. While Adam Thomas was ultimately crowned the jungle legend, the night was overshadowed by a massive confrontation between the finalists. Jimmy Ballard didn't hold back, accusing Adam of being abusive and intimidating during their time in the camp. He even called out hosts Ant and Dec for supposedly editing out the most aggressive moments, including what he called C-bombs. The tension was so high that Gemma Collins and Sunita actually walked off the stage in the middle of the broadcast. It was a complete breakdown of the usual lighthearted finale atmosphere, leaving viewers stunned by the level of genuine animosity between the cast members. Jimmy was clearly frustrated that his side of the story wasn't fully represented in the aired footage.
Adam Thomas looked visibly tearful during the ordeal, but he did try to take some level of accountability. He admitted that his emotions were running high and that he had apologized to Jimmy multiple times. Ant McPartlin actually stepped in to defend the production, arguing that they didn't air certain language because it was simply unbroadcastable. He also disagreed with Jimmy's characterization of the situation, stating that he was there and didn't find Adam's behavior to be intimidating. This public spat really highlights the darker side of these all-star seasons, where past grievances and high stakes can lead to explosive bullying rows. It's rare to see the hosts get directly challenged on their editing choices like that, making this one of the most chaotic live finals in the history of the entire franchise.
Moving to a transformation. Kelly Osbourne has been in the public eye since she was a teenager, and her style evolution is truly remarkable. Looking back at her journey from 2002 to now, you can see how much she has experimented with her identity. In the early 2000s, she was the quintessential punk princess with bright pink hair and edgy, unconventional outfits. She famously performed at a plus-size fashion show in 2003, channeling Madonna and embracing her curves. Over the years, we saw her transition through various phases, including a glamorous Hollywood era where she's stunned in figure-hugging black dresses and elegant gowns. Her hair has always been a focal point, moving from blonde to her signature light purple, which she says finally made her feel like herself when she looked in the mirror. It is a fascinating visual history of a celebrity growing up.
The transformation isn't just about fashion. It's about her confidence and how she carries herself on the red carpet. By the time she reached the 2010 S, she was a fixture on best-dressed lists, often choosing sophisticated silhouettes like the champagne gown she wore to the 2012 Do Something Awards. Her weight loss journey has been a significant part of this public narrative, but she has always maintained that her sense of self is tied to her creative expression through color and style. From the 2015 MTV Video Music Awards to her more recent appearances, she has refined her look into something that feels both mature and uniquely Kelly. It's a reminder of how much the media's perception of her has shifted as she moved from the rebellious daughter of a rock star to a fashion authority in her own right.
Next, a viral interview. Russell Brand is facing a wave of online criticism following a particularly awkward interview with Piers Morgan. The exchange went viral after Morgan asked Brand to cite a specific Bible passage he had been seen reading in court while facing serious legal charges. Brand, who has recently leaned heavily into religious imagery and themes, appeared completely stumped. There was over a minute of dead air as he frantically flipped through the pages of the Bible, muttering to himself about needing to stay chill. He eventually settled on a verse from Isaiah 12, but only after admitting he couldn't find the actual passage he had been focused on during his court appearance. The internet was quick to pounce on the moment, with many users calling the exchange painful and brutal to watch. It was a rare moment of silence for the usually talkative comedian.
The context of this interview is quite heavy, as Brand is currently awaiting trial for multiple counts of rape and sexual assault. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges, which stem from incidents alleged to have occurred between 2006 and 2013. His decision to carry a Bible into court was seen by many as a calculated move, which is why Morgan's question carried so much weight. The split-screen editing during the interview highlighted Brand's struggle, making the silence feel even longer for the audience. Critics are arguing that this moment exposes a lack of sincerity in his recent religious pivot, while others simply found the technical failure to find a verse embarrassing for someone who presents himself as a deep thinker. Regardless of the interpretation, the clip has become a major talking point across social media platforms this weekend.
Now to a biopic. As the new Michael Jackson biopic titled Michael begins its promotional push, James Safechuck is speaking out. Safechuck was one of the primary subjects in the documentary Leaving Neverland, where he alleged that Jackson sexually abused him when he was a child. In a new video message, he described the release of the film and the surrounding hype as deeply triggering for survivors. He pointed out that seeing billboards and commercials praising Jackson can be incredibly difficult for those who have experienced abuse by figures who are widely respected or loved by the public. Safechuck's message was intended to offer support to other survivors, reminding them that they are not alone and that their truths matter, even when the world is celebrating their alleged abuser. It is a powerful counter-narrative to the estate's efforts to rehabilitate Jackson's image through this big-budget Lionsgate production.
This comes at a time when Safechuck and Wade Robson are still pursuing a civil suit against Jackson's corporate entities. They argue that the companies had a duty of care and that employees essentially facilitated the alleged abuse. While Jackson was acquitted of charges in 2005, and his estate continues to maintain his innocence, the legal battle is far from over. The estate's legal team has dismissed these claims as being motivated by money, but the emotional weight of Safechuck's plea is resonating with many. He encouraged survivors to lean into their support systems and to understand that telling their stories is a vital part of the healing process. The biopic is clearly going to be a flashpoint for these ongoing controversies, as it attempts to portray the life of a man whose legacy remains deeply divided between musical genius and disturbing allegations.
Shifting to HBO news. In a surprising turn of events, Helena Bonham Carter has exited the cast of The White Lotus Season 4. This news comes just over a week after filming began in France. According to an HBO spokesperson, it became apparent once production started that the character Mike White created for her didn't quite align with her on set. This has led to a decision to rethink, rewrite, and ultimately recast the role. While the producers expressed sadness over not being able to work with the legendary actress this time, they remain fans of her work. This kind of high-profile departure so early in filming is rare for a show of this caliber, especially since Carter was one of the first big names announced for the new season. The role was reportedly central to the plot, which is set against the backdrop of the Cannes Film Festival.
Despite this major change, HBO says the production schedule won't be significantly impacted. The crew is shifting focus to other cast members' storylines while they search for a replacement. The fourth season is filming in iconic locations like Saint-Tropez, Monaco, and Paris, promising the same level of luxury and intrigue as previous installments. The cast still features a long list of talent, including Steve Coogan, Kumail Nanjiani, and Rosie Perez. It will be interesting to see who steps into the role originally intended for Carter, as Mike White's characters are known for being complex and often tailor-made for specific actors. For now, the mystery of the show is being matched by the mystery of this sudden casting shift. Fans are already speculating about which actress could bring the necessary energy to the French Riviera setting of this upcoming season.
Back to Michael Jackson. More news regarding Michael Jackson has surfaced, this time involving uncovered video footage from the early 2000s. Producer Mark Schaffel, a former friend of the singer, revealed he has hours of recordings intended for a reality show that never aired. One specific clip has gained attention because it shows Jackson reacting to a female fan in a way that is quite different from his usual public persona. In the video, Jackson is seen signing autographs and standing on a limousine before getting back inside. Once in the car, he and others notice a fan outside, and Jackson is heard giggling and making comments about her physical appearance, specifically gesturing toward her chest. It is a rare, candid moment that shows a more suggestive side of the singer, contrasting with the often childlike or shy image he projected to the world during that era.
Schaffel is now looking to turn these videos into a 3-part docuseries, which he says will focus on the positive aspects of Jackson's life. Each episode is expected to be around 2 hours long, covering different chapters of the legend's career. This footage was released on the same day the new biopic hit theaters, adding another layer to the conversation about Jackson's private life. While some fans find these candid moments humanizing, others see them as another piece of a complicated puzzle. Meanwhile, Jackson's son, Prince, has been defending his father's legacy, calling him the most misunderstood person in the world. He hopes the new movie will give people a glimpse into the cause and effect that shaped his father's life. The release of this private footage ensures that every aspect of Jackson's behavior remains under intense public scrutiny as his story is retold.
Next, a serious update. Actress Cassidy Clark is speaking out following the arrest of musician D4VD, whose real name is David Burke. Clark played D4VD's love interest in the music video for his hit song Here With Me, but she wants to make it very clear that she has no personal association with him. In a TikTok video, she denounced the musician as a monster after he was charged in connection with the tragic murder of Celeste Rivas. Clark explained that she only worked with him for 12 hours as a professional job and that they didn't even get along during the shoot. She mentioned they frequently bickered and that she has since unfollowed him and wants nothing to do with him. Her statement comes as rumors circulate that her character in the music video was actually based on the victim, adding a chilling layer to the production.
The situation surrounding D4VD is horrifying, as he is currently the prime suspect and remains behind bars awaiting trial. Clark felt the need to speak up because she was receiving messages from people asking if she was involved or if she knew what was happening. She emphasized that she is just an actor who did a job for a check and didn't even know who he was at the time. The similarities in how she was styled for the video compared to Celeste Rivas have made the footage difficult for many to watch now. Clark's forceful rejection of the musician reflects the shock and anger felt by many as more details about the case emerge. She ended her video by calling for justice for Celeste and her family, making it clear that she stands with the victim and has no loyalty to her former co-star.
Finally, a health battle. Teddi Mellencamp is opening up about a frustrating conflict with her medical team regarding her cancer treatment. The former Real Housewives star, who is battling stage 4 melanoma, recently shared on her podcast that she asked her doctor for GLP-1 weight loss medication. She explained that the steroids and immunotherapy she is undergoing have caused her to gain weight, which has been difficult for her as a health and wellness coach. However, her doctor flat out refused the request, telling her instead to just live her best life. Teddi was incredibly frustrated by this, arguing that being able to manage her physical appearance is part of feeling like herself again. She even joked about finding the medication through friends if her doctor wouldn't prescribe it. It's a complicated look at the intersection of serious illness and the desire for physical control during a grueling recovery process.
Her podcast co-host, Dolores Catania, actually encouraged her to seek the medication elsewhere, even offering to start a weight loss journey with her. However, there is a serious side to the doctor's refusal. Some suggest that the doctor might be saying no because the medication could interfere with her ongoing cancer treatments, or because her prognosis might actually be better than she fears. If a doctor thinks a patient has a high chance of survival, they are often more cautious about introducing elective medications that could have side effects. Teddi has been very transparent about the toll the disease has taken on her mind and body, including starting therapy to process the journey. While the desire to feel good in her own skin is understandable, the medical advice to prioritize her primary treatment over weight loss is a tension many patients face during long-term health battles.
That wraps up our briefing for today. Thank you for joining us for this look at the latest stories. We will be back tomorrow with another update on everything you need to know.